Good morning. Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, beautiful people. I'm back for what are we on? Day 157, I believe it is. Let me get some banners out here. It is day 157 of Daily Motivations for African American Success. However, if you've been rocking with us or know anything about us, this is not just for African American people or any race of people. It is for everyone because, well, I'll tell you that in a minute why. Well, it just is, but I'll explain that to you as it relates to the book that we're journaling through, which is Daily Motivations for African American Success, written by Dennis Kimbro. So we're at day 157, the powerful mother son duo. However, I gave the son off. I demanded that he not be here today. He needs to catch up on rest. He's been going really, really hard. So it's just going to be me, the butterfly, here today. So thank you guys. We're going to jump right into it. If you're out there, say hello. Let me know that you are there. And if you were with us yesterday, please let me know how the PDH went for you. Persistent, determined, hard work. Were you persistent? Were you determined? Did you show determination? And did you work toward the goal, toward the plan, right? So just say good morning and let me know how that went for you yesterday. Or did you contemplate more on yesterday's message or any day? How is it showing up in your life? So for those of you who are coming in, again, Brandon, I practiced my own speech, I guess I would say. I remember sharing the story with you guys about how this company they demand that their employees take mental days off, right, to rest. And so yesterday, I could clearly tell that Brandon was off, like not here, just he needed to rest. Brandon's been really going hard. He works really, really, really hard to make sure his family dynamics is the way that they both want it to be, meaning allowing wife to stay at home, be a homemaker, raise the kids. And in this day and time, y'all, it's tough. It's tough. Things are so high. Um, and so I see him going, doing. And I had the kids, a couple of days here, and Lord, love them, but that it takes work, right? And so I told him yesterday, do not get on this show this morning. Do not come. I will not pull you in. So, and wife agreed. She said, yeah, he's tired. You can tell when he's pushed himself to the limit. So he's not going to be here with us today. But I'm sure he'll go back and listen to the show. So y'all keep him in your prayers. He's getting ready to embark upon something that I let him tell you guys about. He's really excited about it. Um, but he had something grand happen for him that's going to require him to do even more. So that being said, and he's excited, and I'm thankful because I know that I'm in a better place. I will say that I know that I'm growing because again, I'm like, okay, hey, you know, it is what it is. Go do what you do. So, but I'll let him share that with you tomorrow. But he is extremely, extremely more excited this round than I've ever seen him. Right. And I believe it is his time. It is his time. So I'm grateful. I'm thankful for, for him, and I'm happy for him, you know? So in spite of, I'm happy. So good morning, Miss Brenda. Good everything. I gotta say that right. Good everything is different from good morning. It's good everything, right? Everybody. Good morning to my brother, Big Mike. I don't know if you heard me say, but I told Brandon, don't come here today. Rest, rest. So it's just gonna be the powerful mother, right? For you guys. So let's get rocking here. YouTube listeners, thank you for joining us. We're not going to be on Instagram, so they won't know unless they go out there and see. But we've told them, if not, come on Facebook and or YouTube, and you can catch us there. So I'm going to go ahead and get these banners out. And I'm going to go ahead and do my affirmation here to you guys. So that's something that I will not have to go back and do because it will scroll, and then I'll bring in the quote. All right. So you guys, let me know about the PDH. I diagnosed y'all yesterday. I played doctor. How did it go for you? How did it go? I had a light, kind of a light day, but also a hard day because, man, it was so hot. I was outside for about 6 hours in that heat. And man, I don't know how Brandon does what he does. I'm telling you, because yesterday, maybe I wasn't prepared. Because I've been out there and it didn't affect me the way that it did yesterday. So, and that could have been it. I didn't eat. Oh my, I just thought about it. I didn't eat. I left my water here at the house. So it affected me in a different way, obviously, and it just hit me. And also, you guys, share another story with you. I've been up all night because I have to have my recertification done by Monday, and I procrastinated. I procrastinated. So I had a lot more to do than I thought. For some reason, I thought I had did about half of some of the stuff over the time that I have to go back and review and all that, and I had not. So I've been up all night. I fell asleep a few times, but I would wake right back up. And I still have probably about 5 hours to go. And I'll probably break it up today and then some tomorrow, maybe, or I may just knock it out. So your girl procrastinated. I've shared with y'all that's one of my things, and I'm working on it. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So today's we're doing 157. Our topic is the difference between handicap. Oh no, I can't do this. Girl, back up. I see, maybe I do need Brandon. Let's tell y'all what Daily Motivations is about while we're here. I'm sorry. Rewind. This is live. So no apologies needed. It is what it is. So Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead you to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment, right now, y'all, right where you are, right? The present moment, and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes, but also when to say no, and when to look inward for answers to life's challenges. That's the only way to go. That's the only place to look is inward to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with the words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans, such as, but certainly not limited to, Malcolm X, Marion Wright Edelman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Gout, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. But what it teaches will last a lifetime. And Black Enterprise says that each affirmation in this valuable and thought-provoking book takes only a few minutes to read, but it is worthy of more time for contemplation. So that's the story, right? That's where we are. Okay, so now let's go right into it. The difference between handicapped and disabled is our title for the day. The difference between handicapped and disabled. Disabilities are, quote, disabilities, let me get that out there so you guys can see it. All right. Or maybe not. Where did it go? There we go. Disabilities can sometimes be definitions. You can think of yourself in terms of what you can't do and never realize the possibilities of what you can do. I'm going to read that again. This is our quote. Bonnie St. John, athlete and scholar, says, disabilities can sometimes be definitions. You can think of yourself in terms of what you can't do and never realize the possibilities of what you can do. And that's by Bonnie St. John, athlete and scholar. And our reading goes, for an accomplished world-class skier, winning 3 Olympic medals is pretty good. For Bonnie St. John, it's astounding. Most Olympic skiers first hit the slopes at the age of 5 and secure the financial backing necessary to support the training it takes to become a winner. Not only did Bonnie have a late start, when a friend took her on a ski trip at age 15, but she also didn't have a dime of support to polish her skills. If testing the limits of the ski slopes seems like the ultimate challenge, it's actually been only one phase of her life. While training for the Olympics, Bonnie transferred to Harvard University, where she maintained a straight A average. For her classroom excellence, she was rewarded with a Rhodes Scholarship, during which she completed the coursework for a PhD in economics. Bill Dinsby's accomplishments are no less heroic. A decorated Vietnam veteran, the charismatic Denby is one of the nation's most sought after motivational speakers. Since 1989, his face has been seen by millions on a of, television commercial depicting his basketball skills. A one-time high school phenomenon, Denby gave up hard count for the business world. Through ads and special appearances, he now represents DuPont Chemicals, one of the top firms in the nation. I could stop the story at this point, but I'm just getting started. And so are Bonnie and Bill. You see, both are disabled. Bonnie was nearly 6 when her right leg was amputated. Bill lost both of his legs. Both of his legs. He lost it in the steamy jungles of Vietnam. Both continued to surge forward, never stopping to count the cost. I'm going to read that part again. Both continue to surge forward, never stopping to count the cost. They choose to focus on what they have, determined to use it to the fullest. And our affirmation for today is disabled is a physical challenge. Handicap is a state of mind. Remove your mental crutches. One more time. Disabled is a physical challenge. Handicap is a state of mind. Remove your mental crutches. And one more time, you know how we do it. Disabled is a physical challenge. Read it with me this time. Say it with me. Disabled is a physical challenge. Handicap, a state of mind. Remove your mental crutches today. Remove them. So let's dive into this. Y'all know I had the kids. It made me think of Zolly. Had to just tell her, she's girly girl. And I have to kind of keep on her because she never wants to disappoint anybody. And doesn't mean that's girly girl. That's just her thing. That's just who she is. So she's so sought on doing things perfect, the right way for you. She doesn't want you to be upset with her and all of that. So I'm really trying to help her start to manage that even at this age. So I was taking them back yesterday morning, and she had a situation with a little tangerine, meaning she couldn't really get it started to peel it. And she wanted help with it. And I've been telling her, listen, when you can't do something, because she's hard on herself as well. If she can't do something, she will cry because she wants to be able to do it and do it right and all of that. And so she said, Grandma, I can't, and she didn't cry this time. She said, Grandma, I can't peel the orange, the tangerine. And can you do it for me? I've told her, so when you can't do something, just ask, right? So She asked me, but of course I'm driving, so I can't. And so I said, Dolly, I'm driving, so you'll have to make it work. You'll have to try until you get it. And so she finally got it, and she said, Grandma, I didn't cry. I did it. I said, right, baby, just do it. I said, sometimes you just have to do it, right? And so I'm starting to talk to them now, and so is Brandon and Sella, so that they won't get to a place where they have to choose being disabled or handicapped, right? And I want to define, before we get into this, I want to define disabled and I want to define handicap for you. You guys, often we think we understand, we can know a word and we think we understand it because we know it. You've heard it all your life. You have this attachment to it. And sometimes if you go back and pull these words up and read them, like even if you think you know the definition. So, disabled, of a person having a physical or mental condition that limits movement, senses, or activities, right? Relating to or specifically designed for people with a physical or intellectual disability. Now, that's disabled, having a physical or mental condition that limits movements, senses. Now, let's look at handicap, having a condition that markedly restricts one's ability to function physically, mentally, or socially. Totally different. Totally different. And sometimes I think we put those words together. And as our affirmation said, disabled is a physical challenge, handicap, a state of mind, right? So our skier, what was interesting to me, and I don't know if you guys caught this, at the time Bunny started to learn how to ski. Now it was age 15, but she was 6, I believe, when she lost her leg, right? So when she got out there to ski, she was already considered disabled, but she was not handicapped because she was able to work or keep the focus on what she had, what they have. They both focused on what they had left. So many people, a lost limb would handicap some people, meaning they can't do anything. I'm reminded of the lady that I mentioned that I met when I was working at the apartment complex, and she came in a wheelchair, and I watched her try to get through the door, but she was handicapped, like she could not move waist down. She was driving. She drove herself there, and here I am feeling some kind of way about her, but she wasn't. Like, meaning, oh my gosh, like it's hard. Like I am handicapped, and I am handicapping her, right? Because I'm looking, but she was wearing it like she's the lady that told me, because I finally got to a place where I asked her, like, what is it? Because you are so strong. You have it, right? And she said these words to me, and she had just gotten married to a guy who's not handicapped, who can walk, not in a wheelchair, not physically disabled, right? That takes a lot. Truth be told, y'all be honest with yourself. If you met a man or a woman and they were in a wheelchair, could not move from the waist down, would you even consider a relationship with them? Right? But I'm sure this man saw what I saw in this lady. Man, she was on it. She said, if anything, I don't care what it is, anything or anybody, if it doesn't work for me, if the person doesn't work for me, I quickly get rid of it. So she had a plan. She knew what she wanted. She knew who she was. And it didn't mean she couldn't love because she was getting married. It's just that, hey, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. And this is how I'm going. And I'm going to go in spite of what I don't have. I'm going to focus on what I do have. And our quote says, disabilities can sometimes be definitions. How have you defined yourself? How have you made yourself disabled and become handicapped in that process? What are the things, what are the traumatic experiences that you've allowed to disable you? And now you're handicapped, not being able to see what you can do. Because as we learn what we should do, we ought to do. What we ought to do, we should do. I have this thing now that I say about, and sometimes in different order. Won't he do it? Don't he do it? Didn't he do it? Meaning God. Won't he do it? Y'all remember we said that? Won't he do it? Didn't he do it? Right? Won't he do it? Did he do it? All of that. We miss out, and God is trying to show us every day how he shows up in our lives. And when he shows us, he wants us to stay right there in that place of trusting him, knowing he's there no matter what it looks like. You are not disabled. You are not handicapped, because whatever God gave you or left you with or took away, allowed to be taken away, you still can move forward. You still can go, right? So I found it interesting again that she was out on Bonnie. Miss Bonnie was out there trying to, well, not trying, learning to ski, going to college, getting a PhD. Do you know? And this is with, whew, this is truly with a disability. Do y'all know people will stump their toes? People are walking around. No, let's not even deal with the body part of it. People will walk around with anger, unforgiveness, and they won't move because they're waiting on somebody else to say, I'm sorry. They're waiting on somebody to show up and reverse this thing. And so they'll live their life. No. They won't live their life. They're handicapped. They won't move. They won't grow because they're still blaming somebody else for where they are. And truth be told, sometimes we subconsciously and maybe even consciously blame God. There's a lot of people walking around pretending that they don't feel some kind of way about where God has allowed them to be. When truth be told, like I said, we are places, for me, I ended up places that God never sent me to, and with people that God never sent me to. It was because of the hunger. So I thought that there was a need, right? There was not healing, the brokenness, the shattered glass. And anything you pour into a shattered, broken glass, anything the glass is going to eventually become empty. And it will never fill up because just as much as you pour is coming out. Right? So what are you focusing on today? You can think of yourself in terms of what you can do, and what you can do is what you should do, and what you should do is what you ought to do. Do you know what you should do? Do you know what you can do? What do you need to do? What do you need to do for your true goals? Do you even know what your true goals are? Right? So let me check the comments. I'm not going to keep you guys. This one is again worthy of contemplation. Hey KL, how you doing? We hope that you are feeling better these days. If you're just coming in, I mentioned to them that I asked Brandon not to join us today, so that's why you're just seeing me here. The difference between handicapped and disabled, you guys, take some time to contemplate upon that and make it applicable to your life. Because the one thing I feel we've been saying here every day, it's about you. Nothing is about someone else. And sometimes, y'all, that's a tough place to be because you really have to, man, you really have to set people free in every situation and make it about you. And sometimes that's really hard because you want to run into people with it. You want to go in with it, but why? 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 Because that's not going to solve anything. That's going to disable you. And you have everything, right? You have everything regardless. If you've had one leg amputated or two, you still have everything you need. That lady came in there and she got what she needed to get around and do what she needed to do. She wasn't waiting on anybody. This lady would tell me how, which is why she ended up coming into the apartment complex. She lives downtown, I don't know where she is now, lived downtown. She was out walking her dog in the wheelchair, walking her dog, right? And felt a little bit threatened by someone approaching her. And she felt kind of cornered. So she was going to, move her location, so to speak. So imagine, she's getting out walking or rolling in her wheelchair, right? The energy I saw her, the energy she had to put in just to get in and out of her truck seemed tiring for me, taxing, but she did it like a trooper. So I'm going to ask you guys to think upon, do you think of yourself in terms of what you can't do and what has gotten you there? Why do you feel you cannot? What has handicapped? What have you allowed to handicap your life? Why aren't you moving in the direction, if you're not, that you should be going? How do you work every day on your journey? How do you do it? Do you do it? Because he do it. God does it. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Did he do it? Yes, he did. And he always is. So think about Bonnie today, right? Think about Bill Denby, and don't stop. Don't stop. All right. So I'm going to check comments. You guys are quiet. What is going on? Y'all miss Brandon? I miss him. Truth be told, y'all, I miss him too, but I really want him to get some rest. So our topic for today, or our subject, the difference between handicapped and disabled. And I read you the definition. Disabled, of a person having a physical or mental condition that limits movements, senses, or activities. I just told you about some people who are disabled, but they were not limited because they chose not to be. Their movement, the lady in the wheelchair, her movement wasn't limited. She just had to move in a different way. Her senses was more aware, I feel like, than mine. Like this lady in a wheelchair, and you still got the wits about you to just pick up and be like, I ain't doing it. I'm not gonna stay here in this relationship, in this job, because she said, I don't care if it's a job, a relationship, whatever it is. If it doesn't serve me, if it's not good for me, I'm out. That's knowing what you want, who you are, and not playing with life and not letting people play with life. Because so often we let people just get away with too much, trying to be holier than thou. When the Jesus I know, like I said, turned tables over, told it like it was. The truth shall set you free. Your truth shall set you free first. Don't lie to yourself. See, she wasn't lying to herself. She was good. And was going to make sure that everything was good for her and everybody. And if it didn't, or if it stopped, bye-bye. So disabled, having a physical or mental condition that limits movements, senses, or activities. They were labeled as disabled, but they didn't limit themselves to being handicapped, because it says handicap is a state of mind. So and remove your mental crutches. They didn't have them because they kept focus on what they had, what was left, and what they could do with it. There's my word, what they could do with it. Right? Handicap. Having a condition that markedly restricts one's ability to function physically, mentally, or socially. And it says handicap is a state of mind. So you could be disabled, but handicap is a choice that you make. And as most of you probably sit here with all of your body parts, mentally able, stable, hopefully emotionally fit for the most part, are growing towards that way, are you handicapped? And if so, where? Why? So ponder on those two definitions today. And as I get ready to close, I'm going to read something here. Two things. So, disabled versus handicap. As traditionally used, impairment refers to a problem with a structure or organ of the body. Disability is a functional limitation with regard to a particular activity. And handicap refers to a disadvantage in filling a role in life relative to a peer group, right? Filling a role in your life. How do you show up in your life? Do you show up in your life? How do you show up? How do you feel the role of your life? Because if you can't feel it for yourself, y'all, you can't even touch it for somebody else. You can't even get the container to pour into somebody else. Period. And then this is, what is an example of self-handicapping? There's a lot on this. You have to go back and kind of read it yourself. And I have a question about that. Behavior self-handicapping occurs when people actively engage in behaviors that will undermine their performance. Behavior self-handicapping occurs when people actively engage in behaviors, what you do, right, that will undermine their performance. Examples including, but certainly not limited to, you guys, staying out late the night before a job interview. And most time, a job interview that you need, a job that you need. It's about those choices that we make that go against where we say we want to go and what we want to do and the goals that we have and how we see success, define success, right? So staying out late the night before a job interview, and I'll add for a job that you need, or even showing up late, right? For a job that you need, not putting effort into a term paper, procrastinating, drugs, taking drugs. And there was one for me, procrastinating. Because I thought about it this morning. I'm like, you know what? What if something had happened where I could not be up all night and I had to be I don't know. What if, and what would happen? So I got to do better. I got to do better. My question was, I put some things out there the other day. I put a lot out on, I did yesterday too, but I know the day before I put quite a bit out. Did anybody get to look over any of that information or plan to? And I'm asking because, again, you guys, if you're coming here every day, walking away or clicking off and not contemplating upon this, not letting it simmer in your life, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you growing? Are you just coming just to be coming? And I hate to beat on the church, but it's like people go to church and they leave not the church. I love the quote that I say, hey, be church after church. Can we do that? Can we be church after church? Can you be daily motivation after daily motivations is off? Are you daily motivation in it? Right? So I'm going to do the same for today. I'm going to put some things out there for you to go back and contemplate on and really be honest with yourself about handicapped and disabled. Because it's more than just being in a wheelchair, right? It's more. Because I can show you some people that are in a wheelchair. They are not handicapped. They've not lost their movement. They're not limited. They're doing whatever it is they want to do. They're skiing. They're going to college. They're motivating people. Imagine, imagine to lose both your limbs, both legs, and you're still up motivating people. How powerful is that? And we'll have a little situation. Oh man, oh man, oh girl, I can't do this because this happened. Are you focusing on what you can't do or what you can do? All right. So I still say y'all are quiet this morning. I'm gonna have to tell Brandon on y'all. So let's end, you guys. We had our quote for today. Our topic: the difference between handicapped and disabled. Our quote: disabilities. Okay, disabilities can sometimes be definitions. You can think of yourself in terms of what you can't do and never realize the possibilities of what you can do. And that's Bonnie St. John's quote. And our affirmation for today is: disabled is a physical challenge. Handicap is a state of mind. Remove your mental crutches. Second time, disabled is a physical challenge. Handicap is a state of mind. Remove your mental crutches. And one more time for the people in the back. Disabled is a physical challenge. Physical challenge. That's it. Handicap, a state of mind. Remove your mental crutches. And when you remove those crutches, you guys, you see your physical you see your disability just as another challenge. Just another challenge. But how you handle that challenge tells if you will be handicapped, because handicap is your state of mind. That is the difference between handicapped and disabled. Our quote: disabilities can sometimes be definitions. You can think of yourself in terms of what you can't do and never realize the possibilities of what you can do. Be a can do daily motivational today in your own life. Start there. Start there. Be a can do. Focus on the possibilities of what you can do, no matter what you don't have. Right? My brothers out there, man, we've made a meal out of no groceries. Right, Mike? Like, we put together a meal when there was nothing available. Right? Because we had to. We've had to. What you need, you have. What you ought to do, you should do, and you can do. Focus on those possibilities. All right. Y'all be great. I'm going to check the comments here. Y'all are quiet. Love y'all. Peace. I think Brandon may be back tomorrow, although I suggested that he stay out and just come back Monday. But if he does chime in tomorrow, I will let him in. But I told him today, even if you pop up, I'm not putting you through. So it is what it is. Mama's got to stand up and make sure he does what he does, because Brandon will run himself down and out. So y'all be great. Contemplate more on this today. I'm going to drop the links in there right now after the show. So take the time, y'all, to contemplate. Please don't come here every morning and walk away leave the barbecue without a plate, right? We require that everybody takes a plate home. Put what you need on it, what you want on it, but take the plate home with you. Y'all share the video, ask people to subscribe to the YouTube. I'll be back with you soon about I think I have a place for us rather than us gathering here. I think I have a venue, and it's, won't be any cost to you guys. We'll come together, fellowship, hopefully mid July, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that, y'all. So be great. Thank you guys for coming to the barbecue today. Share some of your food that you take away with someone that needs it. Y'all be great. Peace.